Hello student, today we're going to start a new chapter, that is solids, liquids and gases. So student, I think you all familiar with these three terms, isn't it? So basically these three terms, solids, liquids and gases, are used to indicate states of a matter, okay, or you can say states of a substance. Clear? So in this video or in this chapter we will compare three different states of a substance, solids, liquids and gases, in a scientific way depending on some properties. Okay, so before we deeply get in properties of these substances, so first of all we have to know what is matter. Okay, what is matter? So first of all we have to go through matter. Everything in the universe is made up of matter. So everything in the universe is made up of matter. So there is a specific definition of a matter. So a matter means a substance that has mass and it occupies space. That means matter has mass and it occupies space. And this matter can exist in three states: solids, liquids and gases. Okay. Now look at these properties. First property of solid. Okay, the first property is property of solid, this one. The first property is solid do not fill container completely. Yes, solid do not fill container completely. Number two, solid has fixed shape and fixed volume. Okay, and solid is rigid in nature. Solid is rigid in nature. It has fixed volume and fixed shape. And lastly, solid is incompressible in nature. Incompressible means you can't compress solid. Okay, now go through some properties of liquid. This one, liquid. So liquid has no fixed shape and no fixed volume. Okay. Number two, it do not fill container completely, just like solid. Okay. Just like solid, liquid do not fill container completely. Liquid is also incompressible. Liquid is also incompressible. And lastly, liquid is fluid in nature. Liquid means fluid. Okay, it is fluid in nature. Actually, the term fluid is used to express liquid and gases collectively. Liquid and gases collectively. Okay, so liquid is fluid in nature. And lastly, go through some characteristics of gases. So, first one, gas has no fixed shape and volume. So gases have no fixed shape and volume. Next one, it is compressible in nature. Yes, gas is compressible in nature. You can compress of a bottle containing, plastic bottle containing gas, isn't it? So gas is compressible in nature. Next one, gas is fluid in nature. Yes, gas is fluid in nature because it can flow. Next one, gas fill container completely. Yes, gas can fill container completely. So these are some, students, these are some characteristics of solid, liquid and gaseous state of a substance. Okay, so at the end of this video I will attach a short video clip. So in that video clip you will find some examples. I hope you.
Hi friends, do you know what I just did? I just took in the three states of matter: solid, liquid and air, a gas. So are you ready to explore the three states of matter with me? And then we'll finish off with our top three questions on this topic. I'm sure you're familiar with the three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. When we look at something, our brain automatically knows Is it a solid, liquid, or a gas? In this video, we are going to compare these three states of matter in a more scientific way. So we'll compare them based on these four properties: shape and volume, compressibility, rigid or fluid, and do they fill their container completely. After that, we'll take a deeper look into solids, liquids and gases and compare them at a particle level. Let's start with solids. Do solids have a fixed shape? Yes. As you can see here, they have a fixed shape. This is a cuboid, this is a cube, this is a sphere, and my watch has an irregular shape. So for solids, the shape does not change. Now, do solids have a fixed volume? Again, the answer is yes, because the space that the solids occupy does not change. The volume is fixed, and we can calculate that volume. For example, the volume of a cuboid is length into breadth into height. The volume of a cube is a cube. The volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now, how do you calculate the volume of my watch, which has an irregular shape? That's right, by Archimedes' liquid displacement technique. If I dip this watch in water, then the volume of the watch is the volume of the water it displaces. I actually have a video on Archimedes' liquid displacement technique, so do check it out. Now let me pull out my watch before it stops working. Let's look at the compressibility of solids. Usually solids are difficult to compress. For example, I can't compress the things on the table here. So if I try to take this cube and I try to press it, I can't compress this cube here. There are some exceptions, like a sponge. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Are solids rigid or fluid? That's right, the correct answer is rigid, because they have a fixed shape. Fluids are things that can flow. Now, do solids fill their container completely? For example, if I try to put this ball in this container here, does it fill the container completely? The answer is no. Let's add the properties of solids to our concept board. Now let's take a look at liquids. Liquids have a fixed volume but no fixed shape. I'm going to prove these 2 points to you with one single experiment here. For the experiment, I've taken water in this beaker, and as you can see, there's 100 ml of water here. Now I'm going to transfer this water into this container, this one, and this one. And you carefully take a look, what is the change in volume and shape of the liquid. So are you ready? Let's start. Now I'm going to transfer the water from this beaker into this bottle here. And then I'll transfer it to the glass here. Now let's transfer it to the measuring cylinder. So what is the final volume here? As you can see, it's 100 ml, and that's exactly the original volume. So what's the conclusion from our experiment? Liquids have a fixed volume. It was 100 ml all the way through. But they don't have a fixed shape. As you saw in the experiment, the liquid takes the shape of the container it is put in. Let's talk about the compressibility of liquids. If you take a plastic bottle like this containing water, if I try to crush this bottle, it looks like I can compress the water. So are liquids compressible? The answer is no. When I'm crushing it, am I really compressing the water? No, I'm compressing the air inside the bottle. Now if we fill this bottle completely with water, I need to be Superman to be able to crush this bottle. So liquids are almost incompressible, just like solids. Are liquids rigid or fluid? That's right. The correct answer is fluid. The word fluid means it can flow easily. As you can see, water can flow easily. So liquids are fluids. Do liquids fill their container completely? The answer is no. As you can see, in the glass and the bottle, the water only occupies its own volume. The rest of the container is air. So liquids do not fill their container completely. Let's place the properties of liquids on our concept board. Now let's take a look at the third state of matter, gases. Gases have neither a fixed shape nor a fixed volume. Just like liquids, gases take the shape of the container that they are in. One difference is the container needs to be closed. Now liquids have a fixed volume, but gases don't even have a fixed volume. The volume of the gas is the volume of the container. So for example, if I transfer this gas into a larger container, it will fill that container completely. Or if we apply some pressure and try to fit it into a smaller container, then the volume of the gas will be the volume of the smaller container. That brings us to the next point, compressibility. Gases are highly compressible. For example, I can easily squeeze this balloon, or I can easily crush the air in this bottle. Gases are usually stored under high pressure since they are highly compressible. That way we can fit more of the gas in a small container. For example, compressed natural gas is stored in cylinders at a high pressure. Just like liquids, gases are also fluids. They can flow. For example, if I open this bottle, can you see the air flowing out? Of course you can't, because air is colorless. But let's say it was a colored gas, then you would easily see it flowing out of the bottle. In fact, the term fluid is collectively used for liquids and gases. As we discussed before, gases are greedy. They want to fill up the container completely. For example, if this bottle contained a gas and I transferred it to a larger container, then the gas would fill up the larger container completely. Another example is when you open a perfume bottle in a room, the smell spreads to the entire room. So here the room is like a container to the perfume gas. So gases fill their container completely.